Hello, Rotarians. And thanks, Margie, for that great opening music. Those were great choices. I'm Cassie Venters from District 6040, and this year it is my privilege to serve as president of the Show Me Rotary Leadership Council. The real privilege of serving on the Show Me Rotary Leadership Council is being part of a team who, by working on the Show Me Rotary, can impact communities throughout Missouri and even across the world. And we do that by helping the club presidents elect and president's nominee plan for their years as club leaders. After working with Show Me Rotary for many years, I realized that Show Me Rotary is the most important Rotary meeting in Missouri each year. What happens at Show Me Rotary, what you learn in the district meetings that have been held over the last months, will help you positively impact your communities and even communities around the world. The agenda for today is available on the landing page where you entered this general session. We'll have 3 general sessions with keynote speakers, and these speakers are truly exceptional. They've led clubs, districts, zones, countries, and Rotary International to greater service and greater accomplishments. You'll notice as we go through our day that all of our introductions are going to focus on the major service initiatives that our district governors-elect and our speakers have led. The full biographies showing many accomplishments and offices held are on the Show Me Rotary website. Interspersed between our 3 speakers, we're going to have the interactive breakout sessions for presidents-elect and president's nominees. We'll have some breaks and some prizes and more special music that has been chosen by our governors-elect. One consistent factor throughout the day with our speeches and our breakout sessions is that we are asking you to identify one action item. That's one action item from every speech and from every breakout session. When we're asking you to even write that down. These 7 action items will become your path to a successful club year in 21-22. And it'll be successful because the practical information you're going to receive today is going to be strengthened when you apply it in your club, because you know your club's needs and the needs of your club members. We also want you to know that we're planning evaluations for our sessions. The good old Survey Monkey that you've seen before will show up in your email box on Monday morning. And as you go through today, we would like you to make some notes for yourself about the aspects of the sessions that help you the most. Every year, the evaluations are important to Show Me Rotary, but particularly this year, as we're using new technologies, and your feedback will help us put on the best Rotary Institutes for the coming years. We've muted all participants during the general sessions, but the mute comes off in your interactive breakout sessions for the president's-elect and president's nominee when you will be in discussion groups. Through Show Me Rotary's history, we've learned that presidents often gain the most from listening to each other. And the experience that is represented here from 130 clubs is invaluable. I also want to highlight the House of Friendship as another place where you can learn from each other. For those of you that have been to a Rotary convention, you know that a House of Friendships is a place where Rotarians gather to learn about club projects, district projects, and check out Rotary merchandise. Our House of Friendship has been open since yesterday and it'll be open through tomorrow. You can also find out about Rotary action groups there, where you can join others around the world to address serious world problems, such as our areas of focus. Rotary fellowships are also linked there, And in a fellowship, you join others around the world who have similar interest in hobbies and spare time activities. 2 vendors have provided discount coupons for your use in the House of Friendship, so please take advantage of those. And you can enter the House of Friendship by going to the landing page and clicking on the tab for the House of Friendship. With these announcements completed, we are ready to move full swing into our first general session with our first MC. And with our focus on highlighting service leadership of our district governors-elect as well as our speakers, I want to introduce our first MC of the day, Joan Kramer. Hello, Rotarians Club. One of her areas of service is Rotary Youth Exchange. She has hosted 3 exchange students, one each from Ecuador, Brazil, and Switzerland. And Joan says it brings both her and the community a new worldview because they get to see how others around the world live. She believes that Rotary Youth Exchange gives the world a sense of sharing, caring, and trust between nations. Joan.
Thank you, Cassie. And thanks to the Show Me Rotary Council for bringing us all together. I appreciate the opportunity to be District 6080's governor for the coming year. It gives me the opportunity to encourage others and to help fellow members feel valued through their Rotary service. My tagline in Rotary is every day is a new day. Every day is a new day to choose, to serve, to love, to reach out and support Rotarians for what they do in Rotary, no matter how big or how small. And it's pretty easy to do that because as Rotarians, we are doing important things. I now have the pleasure of introducing the leaders who will be guiding our 3 districts over the coming year. Our district governor-elects who become governors on July 1st, 2021. From the Kansas City Rotary Club and soon to be governor of District 6040, covering the entire northern third of the state of Missouri, plus the Kansas City metro area, David McCoy. From the Arnold Club, the Arnold Rotary Club, and soon to serve as governor in District 6060, covering East Central and Southeast Missouri, from Hannibal to the Boot Heel, along with the St. Louis metro area, Margie Sammons. And I'm from Jefferson City Evening Rotary Club and District 6080, covering Southwest and West Central Missouri, and I'm Joan Kramer. Joining the president's nominee are the 3 individuals who will serve as district governors in 2022-2023. District 6040, Kent Shellman, Lee Summit Rotary Club. And District 6060, Julie Leverins, Bowling Green Rotary Club. And District 6080, John Horton, Springfield Southeast Rotary Club. Our opening address is from Rotary International Director-elect from zones 30 and 31, Elizabeth Usovicz. Elizabeth Usovicz. Elizabeth Services leadership in Rotary includes a 20-year passion for supporting orphans and at-risk children in Malawi, Africa, and she is currently serving on the task force that is helping to promote Rotary's Empowering Girls Initiative for the 2021-2022 Rotary year. Beyond question, Elizabeth is a super server. Her personal tagline in Rotary is "The power of we is within us all." She is an innovative entrepreneur, a business strategist, and a web columnist. Elizabeth's message for us this morning is timely and relevant, and she'll be presenting material to us on leading others through change. Elizabeth?
Thank you so much, Joan, for that very gracious introduction and a few other thank yous. I would also like to thank PDG Kenny Harris, who has been my virtual aide, and he's been superb at it. So thank you, Kenny. And I also want to thank the Show Me Rotary Council, led by Cassie Venters, for this invitation to be with you today. It's a homecoming for me, and I'll explain why. But first, foremost, and always, thank you for being a Rotarian. And a special hello and congratulations to the presidents-elect of Show Me Rotary. I'm so pleased that we can all be here today for this exchange. And I hope that, like me, you can feel the buzz and the energy in this virtual Zoom room as we come together to serve to change lives. I'm very excited for each of you that you have chosen to lead your clubs in the coming year. And so alongside you and your governors-elect, David McCoy, Margie Sammons, and Joan Kramer, I also will be taking on a new leadership journey in Rotary next year as I begin my 2-year term on the board of directors. And my Rotary leadership journey began, just like you, here at Show Me Rotary Pets in 2002. And so for all of us, these are exciting leadership roles. These are positive changes. These are changes that we get to make. And there's a quote that I think expresses the opportunities we have ahead of us very well. And it's from inventor and entrepreneur Charles Kettering. And he said, "I am interested in the future because I plan to spend the rest of my life there." And so, since we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives in the future, I'd like to ask you a question, and I'm requesting that you place your answer in the chat. And the question is, what is one thing you are most excited for your club to accomplish in the coming Rotary year? So just place it in the chat, and if you could take one action, implement a project, start a new thing in your club, or accomplish one thing, what would it be? So let's take a look at the chat. Wow, they're coming in fast and furious. I'm going to read a few of these. Sending a student to RILA, increased service projects, implementing a global grant, exploring new ways to serve our communities, more energy towards service, increasing membership, diversifying and increasing diversity among membership. Wow, these are amazing. And when I read your answers, you know, some of the words that come to my mind are wow, impactful, exciting, generous, ambitious, making a difference, community focused, service oriented. These are great. Thank you so much for that. And whether you put your answer in the chat or you thought about it, you have just planted the seeds of leading for positive change in yourself. So what does that mean to lead for positive change? Well, there are literally thousands of definitions of leadership. And here's one simple definition. Leadership is getting things done with and through others. Things like your answer to my question. So what is positive change? Well, it's more than a nice way to talk about change. It's a recognized approach to achieving results in corporations and organizations like Rotary by imagining the future we want and then building that future on what's going right. So positive change is intentional change. It's change we choose to make that results in outcomes that are beneficial to all concerned. So positive change, it's intentional, it's chosen, and it's beneficial. So here's what it's not. It's not random. It's not imposed on us, and it's not exclusive to one or only a few individuals. And one of the most important things that an effective leader does, and that you can do as club president, is lead for positive change. So how do you do that? Where does positive change come from? Well, when we think about positive change, we often think about a eureka moment or an aha moment, or that we have to be exceptionally brilliant like an Einstein to have an idea that leads to positive change. And some ideas do come to us that way. But here's the reality. The spark for positive change often comes from an experience that doesn't meet our expectations or doesn't achieve the results that we would like to see. So it's something that starts with how we feel, and that is our point of power. That feeling that this could be better, we can do better, or we can be better. It begins with us turning that feeling into a wish. And now it's been said that a wish is not a plan. Yet, expressing how we feel as I wish at the point of power, that's the beginning of positive change. So think about it. When do we wish? Well, we wish at birthdays when we blow out the candles on a cake, or at a fountain when we toss in a coin, or blowing on a dandelion puff. And what we wish for at those times is a positive change. So you as a leader get to help yourself and help others to reframe their feelings. And your million-dollar question to ask is, what do you wish would happen? And the answer will be, I wish, and a positive change. And now you have a vision of a positive change, and you've also created a second point of power. And you can turn a positive wish into a possibility that benefits all concerned. And so the second million-dollar question begins with 3 simple words. What if we? What if we? It's not top-down leadership or command and control leadership. It's inclusive leadership. And when people are included in shaping an idea and making it happen, they not only participate in positive change, they are invested in positive change from the heart. You know, it's no accident that Rotary's public image message is, we are people of action, and that our people of action taglines all begin with, together we. So it's not I transform, it's together we transform. It's not I end polio, it's together we end polio. And leading for positive change is leading from the center. It's leading to include. It's leading from the heart. And our Rotary theme for next year, Serve to Change Lives, that's all about positive change. And next year's Rotary International President, Shekhar Mehta, is asking us to be visible in our communities through Rotary Days of Service. And my wish for you is that you lead your clubs to make visible positive change in your communities. President-elect Shekhar is also asking clubs to do a service project that empowers girls, or to look at the impact of a current service project through the lens of empowering girls. What if each of your clubs did that? What kind of positive change could you lead your club to achieve by participating in the Empowering Girls Initiative? Well, as President Shekhar has said, the girls of the world are waiting for you. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? When we serve to change lives, we ourselves are transformed. And as you heard in the introduction, my passion project in Rotary is a 20-year commitment to serving at-risk children and children orphaned by AIDS in Malawi, Africa. And that 20-year association started in 2001, just before I became president-elect. And it started with a wish for positive change that led to a what if we question that has led to dozens of projects creating positive change for at-risk and orphan children in Malawi. And on one of those projects, I served as the leader of a vocational training team for a Rotary Foundation grant project. And my team and I worked alongside teachers in village primary schools to develop and deliver an after-school program to empower children, and especially girls, to stay in school. Now I'm going to share my screen and show you a few photos. And if you follow the yellow arrow, that's Malawi. Malawi is a landlocked country in sub-Saharan Africa. It's bordered in the north by Tanzania and on the east and south by Mozambique, and on the west by both Mozambique and Zambia. Malawi has a population of about 20 million people, and about 47% of those people are under the age of 14. And the average income annually in Malawi is under $200 a year. They are very polite and very gracious people, and Malawi is known as the warm heart of Africa. Now, this isn't a Senga, it's one of the 39 villages we worked in. And as you can see, it's red dirt paths through the village. The houses are made of mud brick, and they have straw roofs, or if you are lucky, you might have a metal roof. But families of 8 or 10 or more may share a home like this and sleep on a packed dirt floor. Now, this is one of the primary schools we worked in, and these are two of the teachers that we worked alongside. The schools are also made of mud bricks with lattice cutouts in some of the bricks for windows to let in some air and light. But as you can see, it is often hot and dimly lit inside. And if you are a student, you are sharing desks, chairs, and any learning materials that are available. Now, on the other side of the screen, you see Aisha and Bernard, two of the teachers that we worked with. So look behind Aisha. All of the blackboards in all of the schools were so pockmarked, you couldn't write on them. So my team and I donated money from our clubs to have all of the blackboards in all of the schools painted so that the teachers could use them. And all of those blackboards were painted before we left after our 3.5-week project. Now, during the project, we met with many young girls, very smart and determined girls who wanted to learn despite the obstacles. And some of them are pictured here. And one of them had a very shy and quiet conversation with me at one of the primary schools. And during that conversation, she asked me what my profession was. Now, I wasn't sure if management consultant or entrepreneur would mean anything to her, so I simplified and I told her I was a businesswoman. And she smiled this incredibly beautiful smile that to me demonstrated why Malawi is called the warm heart of Africa. And she said to me, that's what I want to be. I want to be a businesswoman. That conversation inspired her, and that conversation humbled me beyond words. And both of our lives were changed. And these are the types of positive change that we get to make in the world and in our communities and also in ourselves through our leadership in Rotary. We get to lead positive change in our clubs by recognizing those points of power and asking, what do you wish would happen? And then building on that point of power with a what if we question. Now, I've asked you a lot of questions in just a few moments this morning, and I'll leave you with a quote and yes, a final question. And the quote is from Vincent van Gogh, the artist, and it's from a letter he wrote to his brother explaining his commitment to art. And he wrote, I am seeking, I am striving, I am in it with all of my heart. And so my question for you is about your leadership in Rotary. Are you in it with all of your heart? I want to thank you for having me today and thank you for your leadership. Your leadership is important, it makes a difference, and you are very much appreciated. So stay safe, be well, and serve to change lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth, so much. Your efforts and experiences through many roles in our organization benefit Rotary International, and we are so fortunate to have you with us today. For my own action item, I am really going to make it an intention to lead from my heart. And I know that sounds simple, but sometimes we don't do that. And I feel like that is something that I will make an intention to do. So if there are any questions, please put those in the Q&A or in the chat.
And I will say, I am open to questions about leadership. I'm open to questions about anything I've talked about. I'm also open within reason to personal questions, particularly if it's about the journey in Rotary.
I know, just to get started, I do have a question for you of what you are looking forward to most as your new position as director.
You know, I think like all of us, I'm interested in that future I'm going to be living in. And as we emerge from this this kind of virtual and limited interaction situation, I am very much looking forward to what's next in terms of how we interact, how we relate in Rotary, and how we really expand and diversify who we are and what we do. So that covers a lot of territory, I know, but that's what I am very much looking forward to.
Well, we are looking so forward to working with you. I know, speaking for my other district governor-elects, it's been so fun already just spending time with you and learning about your initiatives. So we're super excited about that.
Thank you. It looks like some of the questions are coming through the chat, and I did happen to see one that asked, is the work in Malawi ongoing? And yes, it is. The Kansas City Plaza Rotary Club has been incredibly supportive of the work that we have done in Malawi over the years. We've done several grants, and in fact, I just finalized a training plan with our partners yesterday for an irrigation treadle pump project that will allow subsistence farmers to feed their families and feed the orphans in their villages through having these treadle pumps, which will increase irrigation of crops and allow for 2 or 3 crop harvests in a year. And that will allow most people in the village who benefit from that crop to have at least 2 meals a day. So for children under 5, that's incredibly important. The mortality rate is high for those children. So that'll be a help. So yes, it's very much ongoing.
Looks like we had several other questions coming in.
Okay. Yeah, wow. This is one from Andy. It says, suggestions on merging cultures of 2 clubs who are combining. I think, you know, that is a really interesting question. And that really starts with, I'm glad you asked that question, one of the principles of positive change and leading positive change. And one of the point of departure questions for both cultures in both clubs is, what won't change? Where's our common aim, our common ground as we start? So what is not going to change as a result of this merger? And then maybe move to, what is it that we can do now that we were not able to do before? So again, as you can see, I love questions. And those are 2 that can help move you in the right direction of positive change. So I hope that's helpful. And Andy, if you do use some of those questions, I'd love to hear about how your merger is going. What is the biggest challenge that presidents should prepare for? That also is a tough one. I remember telling my governor when I was a president-elect, or the governor that was incoming, you know, I am more than whelmed. I'm overwhelmed. And if you know Carl Chinnery, you know he has a great sense of humor. So over the years, we have reflected back on being more than whelmed. And so one of the tricks that I use, and guess what? It's a question. I would ask myself when I was feeling that way, what is the best use of my time right now? And if I'm overwhelmed, it's probably because I'm looking at a project as too big. And so if I cut that down into smaller bites, what would those bites be? And then looking at those bites and saying, okay, what is the best use of my time right now? The second part of that challenge is to rely on the people who are around you. This is a we proposition. Leading a Rotary Club, leading in Rotary is a we proposition. You can't do it alone. You don't do it alone. There are people who are not only willing to help you, they are able to help you. And so rely on those people.
Those are fantastic questions and great answers for the president-elects to take and put in their file and to use. So as a token of our appreciation, Show Me Rotary is making a contribution to polio eradication in Elizabeth's name.
Thank you.
Rotarians, you can find more information about Elizabeth on the Join Leaders tab of our website, showmerotary.org. So we have concluded our first general session, and our technical host will now provide instructions on going to your next session.